Hello. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to the studio. All right, how is my sound today? Move this into live chat. And I am going to pull up some images. Hello, 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 everyone. I know this is not quite as wonderfully popular topic as swatching new release paints, but hopefully painting is still interesting to some people. It's really what I would prefer to be doing. And I am hoping, I mean, I say this every one of these streams, but I am hoping to finish this painting this stream. I really, really want to finish this. This is watercolor and ink on Aquabord, and I am painting Encrusted Saxifrage on a Porphyry basalt volcanic rock with some orange crusty lichen. Hi Lana, hi Steven. How are you? Happy, was it Children's Day? I am going to, I think I might actually end up running into a problem with recording here because my memory might run out on this computer, so I am going to take just a quick moment to empty my trash. I have this bad habit of recording 4K video and then just collecting it forever. Okay, and then I'm gonna videos. Let's see, can I find something to delete here? Probably a whole bunch of things. Yep, I can delete all of these. There's absolutely no reason why I need those to exist anymore. they can go bye-bye. And then if I go here, I can go trash and empty. And that should give me enough room that I shouldn't have to worry about running out of room on this computer while recording this video, and then I can deal with my files properly later. Yes, so my video folder is not as organized as it ought to be. And I've been meaning to for the past couple months, although I've had a whole bunch of health issues crop up, which I'll tell you about separately. I mean, they're not, most of them are not new, they're just newly understood, newly going to the doctors. I've been going to the doctor a lot. Most of it is good news-ish. But I had plans for these past few months. So I have a high school co-op student as well as an assistant. But my assistant is leaving on mat leave. It is actually Destiny's last day before she leaves on mat leave. So she will be gone for several months. And I need to sort out my videos. I had hoped that my co-op student, so he's still on his term until I believe mid-January. Mid-January, might be mid-February. He's still got a while on his term, and I had been hoping that I could get him to take over some of my video editing, and the challenge we had run into that we had hoped to get dealt with this term was to start organizing my videos folder so that there was more clear B-roll, because I just have a videos folder that largely I just throw things into, and then when I'm editing a video, sometimes I'll have a folder for that video, like, oh, okay, here's all the new footage that I put into this video. But for B-roll and stuff, I've just kind of got it very disorganized. And it makes it really difficult for anyone but me to edit, unless I go and find all the B-roll. How am I feeling today? I am feeling pretty good. I have just started, so among other things, my thyroid finally crashed. Or whatever. It's been wiggly for a while, but it fell out of range. And so I just started on thyroxine, and I suspect that this was a part of why I was so out of it for like years. Is that even when my numbers weren't clearly off, that at least some of the time I wasn't doing so great thyroid-wise. So it's nice to have that finally treated. It's only been a couple of doses, so we'll see. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that things are improving. levothyroxine. One folder for every video, but then do you keep, like, sorted B-roll? I guess your videos are more focused on, like, individual projects, whereas a lot of, like, I have a lot of, sort of repeat content and an increasing amount of, like, general purpose B-roll that is becoming a pain to dig through. Lana, are you hypothyroid as well? I only have themed videos. Yeah, right. I mean, I guess, yeah, because I paint a whole bunch of lichen and trees, and I do also have, I mean, videos where I'm talking about books or something, but like I'll cut to hiking footage or something. I've been trying to build up a bank of B-roll that I can use. Like, oh, here's, you know, mixing paint, and here's hiking through a forest. Here's like different kinds of forest, different seasons, different whatever. I do L-thriate roxin since 2017. It's been so good. This and vitamin D are my drugs of choice. I need to start my vitamin D back up again. I've been on vitamin D for ages. It doesn't seem to vary. It has not seemed to affect my serum levels at all, or have much of any other noticeable effect, but I definitely should be supplementing, so. Oh yeah, the outside footage I call Dante videos. I keep those. Yes, right. So, yeah, so I have like crusty branches videos and ember videos and whatever. And I've been trying to use more, I debate a little bit. You know, I don't want to devote too much time to like Mr. Beast style retention editing. At some level it's like, well, that's not my audience, but at some level it's like, yeah, well, you know, making videos that are, you know, that hold people's attention to some extent, does really help, and with all the effort of editing, like, it would be nice to, you know, direct that in a way that is, more productive? Oh boy. No, it's too dark. Yeah, Yeah, so like I think because your videos are more I guess varied, like it's more focused on the individual painting or product that you're reviewing, like the painting you're making or the product you're reviewing, rather than like more of a like a broader theme. Whereas, yeah, like my videos have a little bit more, I think, of a like a story arc within other videos, or like even within the video of like, oh, I went to this location, and so I've started collecting this footage, but oh, it's so poorly organized. And so when I was like, there's things that I've asked my co-op to edit, and it's like, it's not his fault that it's taking him so long. And that's like even after I've sorted out like, oh, here's all the relevant footage. So yeah. Yeah, it definitely depends on context. Anyway, I've just been too, well, white for one thing, but also just busy with medical stuff. So I'm hopeful that now that I have a little bit more energy, I mean, it's only been a couple of days on thyroxine, so we'll see in a week or so whether it sticks, but it seems like it's helping me have a bit more of a clear brain and not be as tired. I noticed changes like after the first dose yesterday. I actually didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night because like my brain was just, I had all these thoughts. A little bit of the ADHD carousel, which, I'm also on drugs to quiet that down, but it's been tough recently because it feels like my thoughts are so slowed down. There's just so, like, I'm struggling to think through things. It's struggling to get stuff done. And it did seem like it was helping. It did seem like, oh no, I am actually feeling a lot more awake here. So that was nice, but I think it's too early to really tell for sure how much of that is, you know, how much of that will stick. I also have this feeling with like so many new medications, because like I'm on a few and they're helpful, but with so many things it's like, oh, this is so helpful. Like, it's like I'm all better, but I only feel like I'm all better for a few days, and then I realize, like, you know, I've improved a little bit, but like I was so far down and there's still so much to go. Do you eat lots of meat? I eat quite a bit of meat. I was vegetarian for 27 years, and then I started eating meat about 2 years ago, and I do really well with red meat. So a lot of my diet, ground beef is a food group. My vitamin B12, because I was near vegan for a while, it was actually, at one point it had tanked, it was low, and I started supplementing, and it shot up, and it's way, way, way above the, you know, recommended at this point. I haven't supplemented in years, but my B12 is high. My iron is questionable. It's not actually low, but if you look at all of my iron values together, it's like, well, my ferritin is right smack on average or a little bit higher, but that might be artificially elevated from autoimmune stuff, because all of my other iron markers are on the low end of normal. So we're not sure. Yeah, it's a little unclear to me. Like, I've supplemented iron. I am not on... I guess I'm having... Like, I have a multivitamin that includes some iron. But I'm not individually supplementing iron right now. My most recent iron studies were... I don't know. I guess the doctor will tell me more on Monday, but I looked at them and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Like, all the things said they were normal, but it looked like maybe some of the markers were on the lower end of normal, which sometimes they worry about. It's not a... Either way, it's not probably not a great explanation for any major symptoms. But my thyroid was, I mean, it was kind of all over the place. They've been testing for like 4 years. I have a family history of, like 4 generations of every woman in my family has their thyroid fail. It's really quite sad. So I was past due, and they've been testing my thyroid for a while, and I think on average it was maybe slightly on the low end. But sometimes it was overactive. And so they kept on testing and retesting and retesting and retesting. And like, oh, it's slightly low, maybe we should retest. Oh, nope, now it's high. Oh, it's slightly low, maybe we should retest. And it finally dropped out of range, so. It does seem like, well, it kind of sucks that, you know, it's been 4 years of testing, and if it turns out that, like, so far it seems like, oh, well, that probably is a big part of the fatigue I was feeling. You know, kind of sucked if it was like, wow, really? So I was asleep for years. Because my body needs more thyroid? I don't know. Your doctor refuses to test for iron. Interesting. Okay. That's weird. Why does your doctor refuse to test for iron? I feel like that's like the most common test here. It's like whenever you show up, you're like, oh, I'm tired. Like I have like fatigue. They're like, iron, B12, thyroid. Iron, B12, thyroid. Iron, B12, thyroid. My doctor has celiac, so she adds celiac. I don't have celiac, but, you know, I've been tested like 6 times. And it jumps, it's Hashimoto's or so, isn't it? Yes! So Hashimoto's usually follows a curve like your TSH. So the way Hashimoto's usually works is your TSH goes up, and so your thyroid is normal, but your TSH is too high. And then at some point your thyroid has a spike, is overactive, and then crashes. And the problem with my results was my TSH was all over the place. Usually high, but all over the place. And then my thyroid was sometimes low, sometimes high, sometimes low. So there was like more back and forth, so it's... I don't know. It didn't seem like it was one attack. It seemed like it was maybe multiple attacks, and my thyroid was fighting back. It's technically possible to have both Hashimoto's and Graves, but then the other thing is I think they tested me for thyroid antibodies and it came back negative. So I don't know, this is like my antibody tests drive me mad. I have a positive ANA, fairly substantially positive. And I have autoimmune symptoms, and they vary, but all of the individual, like, oh, do you have, you know, specific, like, antibodies to this, antibodies to that, antiphospholipid antibodies, anti-whatever. And the answer is always no for all of them. That's like, yeah, my C3 and C4 are low, my ANA is positive, I clearly have some kind of autoimmune, but what kind of autoimmune? We don't know. She says hemoglobin levels are okay, so no need. But your hemoglobin levels can be okay for a really long time, even if you're iron deficient, because your body will prioritize hemoglobin. My sister had Hashimoto's and it went high and low for years. Okay, I mean, I can easily believe that. I don't know, it didn't seem to really phase the doctors. Like, they didn't seem to be like terribly confused or surprised by it. Just like, all right, well, let's test again. It's high now. It's low now. It's high now. Which was frustrating. And I think I kind of dismissed thyroid as like, well, I don't know what's causing my symptoms, but that one's so unreliable. Like, it's so variable that, you know, it seems seems like a bit of a stretch that like this thing that's sometimes high, sometimes low is causing like fairly ongoing symptoms. But I mean, it could very well be, and I think on average it was actually pretty low. It's also, again, not the only thing, so. Next month I'll move and I'll have a new doctor to argue with. Well, I've had some fun because my doctor is off on mat leave. So I have a new doctor, like a temporary doctor. And, you know, he's nice, but he's not my regular doctor. I guess maybe it's also like how the funding works. I feel like, so I'm in Ontario, so our in Canada, each of the provinces has their own health system. Like the federal government guarantees that, you know, the provinces will handle your health, and they all have like agreements, so if you travel to a different province you still get care. But like it's run by the province, so each of the provinces has like slightly different rules. And so some things will be covered and some things won't, depending on where you are. And with testing, it's like there's most basic tests are covered, and then there's other tests that are not covered, or they're only covered in specific situations. And so it feels like to me a lot of the doctors will, like, you come in with a complaint, if they don't have an answer, they'll just send you away with a requisition for like, yeah, let's run all the tests that we can always run. Like, here's the basic tests that are covered by OHIP in all circumstances, run them again. So the interesting thing is here, actually, anywhere in the province, we can get blood work. So the blood work, I mean, it's a public-private partnership. There's a company. I think they kind of have a monopoly across the province, or certainly across like most of the province, called Life Labs, and they run most of the, like, if you get testing in a hospital, then it's run at the hospital. But if you get testing, if your doctor orders testing, usually you go to a Life Labs and you can get testing there, but then it just gets sent, like it gets emailed to your doctor and you can view the results. But technically you can go anywhere in the province, go to a Life Labs, it doesn't matter. So like I could go 1,000 kilometers away and I would be treated everywhere, but as a GP we often have one close for the basic care. Yes, yes. Is it, what is like GP registration, like are there wait lists, are there, I know here there's often a shortage in different areas, and it's a little bit complicated to transfer doctors. So my sister's family, for example, like I have a local doctor. When I moved here, the practice that my husband was at, that his family went to, was transferring over to a new doctor, and the new doctor was taking new patients, so I got in. But often people, if they move to a different city, like it's difficult to find a doctor who's taking patients. So my sister still has her doctor, her primary doctor in Toronto, which is about 100 kilometers away from where we are. And a GP, eye doctor, dentist, gynecologist for like basic care. Yeah. So we have... Oh wait, you have like a gynecologist separate from your regular doctor that you always go to? That is neat. We don't have that usually, unless like if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, but otherwise. But if you're sick and need treatment, they can't refuse. So, and once you've been there once, you have a file. And can sneak in as a regular patient. That's my trick, at least. Yes, so that is sort of the thing here too. Is there's all sorts of cases where, yeah, like you get in because of something, because they hold after hours clinics, or because My doctor's back in Waterloo, about 275 kilometers. Yeah. Hi, Mom. We're talking about doctors in Canada and Germany. Lana just moved 250 kilometers away and is looking for a new doctor. And I was wondering whether Germany was like Canada, where looking for a new doctor is sometimes a little bit fraught. I just go to my regular doctor for that. When I had IUDs, I got a referral to a specialty clinic to get those in. But it was like an individual referral, not like my regular doctor. Yeah, no, like definitely, I think it's crazy that even 100 kilometers, like my sister has her doctor in Toronto, and there are reasons why I might have to get some of my care in Toronto. And it sucks, and I think that there should be more availability for doctors everywhere. The regular doctor doesn't have the tools and chair. Ours do. Or at least mine does, and my last doctor's practice was actually, he actually practiced out of a, like, he was actually part of a hospital. Like, the clinic was separate from the main hospital, but he was staff at a hospital, and technically the clinic was counted as part of the hospital, so it worked a little bit differently than most clinics. I went to a cardiologist today. I'm wearing a Holter monitor so that we can figure out why my heart rate keeps jumping. Because my health is ridiculous. Yeah, so I've got stickers on my chest, and I've got this little device so that when my heart rate, oh sorry, is that showing? This thing. And I get to wear that for 72 hours. So that was my morning. But I'm not as wiped as I usually would be after that. Like, it's only a 15-minute, you know, setup to get your Holter attached, but yikes! I was in Emerge for unrelated reasons, and they just took my vitals because, you know, they always do when you're in Emerge. So I was telling them about unrelated stuff, and my resting heart rate was sitting at 150. And it's the past several months, my heart rate just jumps. And who knows, it might actually be as simple as something like POTS. But it doesn't seem to be terribly closely correlated to sitting up. Did they tell you you can't shower while they test you? They would prefer I don't shower, but I did get an extra set of stickers because it is 72 hours. So if I absolutely must, I can swap it out. But they said, like, if possible for washing, just, you know, sponge bathe. Clean your underarms, wash your hair in the sink, sponge bathe, so that you don't get the monitor wet. Oddly, I feel like I had a 72-hour halter last time, and I thought last time they just said you can shower, just take off, like just detach the monitor itself. Leave the stickers, shower, dry off, and then put it back. But this time they said avoid it. I'm not sure. I could have sworn last time I did shower, but the truth is I don't sweat very much right now, which might be the thyroid thing. It's funny how some of our issues are so similar. Yes, I was talking to so I have a studio mate who has, oh gosh, lupus that is masquerading as MS. I thought I had MS because I was getting some neurological things. I got an MRI. It doesn't seem like I have MS, so that's good. I mean, it's good, except that, like, what do I have? Because I clearly have something. We'll see. The neurologist will answer, but I have a studio mate who has lupus presenting as MS, except it doesn't meet all the criteria for lupus anyway. She's getting it treated as lupus. She has like a specialist rheumatology neurology clinic that she got referred to, where it's like almost like a Dr. House sort of situation where they take like weird cases that don't fit anything. And so she was talking about, like, you know, I work in this art studio and there's all of these people and, like, we all have, like, really similar autoimmune things that don't fit into categories. Like, what is this? They're not supposed to be contagious. And apparently her doctors told her, like, yeah, like, you wouldn't believe the number of, like, husband and wife, you know, come in with, like, the same weird combination as each other. Like, how does this happen? Thyroid can definitely mess up a lot. Yeah. So we'll see how much thyroid answers. Because, like, I do know a few things already. So it's like, well, okay, so if I have, like, some kind of autoimmune attacking my thyroid. Who knows what else it's attacking? Is it Hashimoto's or is it something else? I guess we'll find out. And I guess next week I get to see a neurologist and we'll get some more answers. Yeah, they're gonna have to test again in a few weeks. And adjust. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be great? I feel like I've had too much of a roller coaster to get my hopes up too high, but come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, we need more yellow and more green. And we need to pick this up. What is with all this red? Too much red here. Yep, seems like it. I was afraid that it was like, oh no, this is worse now too, so, you know, that it was just gonna get, like, be one more thing. But it does seem to be helping some issues that were there before. It's just a question of how much. Just a question, and often, like, I don't realize what kind of pain, like really what I'm experiencing until it goes away. And so I feel like with a lot of things, you know, when it gets treated, it's like, oh my goodness, this is magic. I'm gonna be able to do so many things, and that's, you know, maybe not quite. Maybe not quite there. Oh wow, I've done like a quarter of the, it's been an hour, I've done like a quarter of this. Flower cluster. I'll finish this ever. Oh, great. What should be after? No, before that. Oh. Yeah, they're just so fussy. I am not enjoying them. Like, they look good, but the amount of fussing to just get this little, like, oh, I just need to get the colors just right. I just need to get the little... they're too fussy. Too fussy. I just want it over now. I'm so over this. I just want it done. I also have a video pending to make about this, and it's just ha 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 ha. I actually, like, I've wanted to have this done for so many things. Like, oh, I'm gonna send it to this exhibition in Vancouver. The exhibition happened. I sent work. The exhibition is over. The work already got back. It's hanging in my studio. This, still not done. Oh, I want to finish this so that I can do this, edit the video, and put it in a grant application. The grant is submitted. It's like every deadline I've set for myself with this thing is just, you know, I just blow through it. It just takes forever. Taking forever. I want to finish this so that I can do other things. other things like that amazing bugs thing. Also, I have an advent calendar full of watercolors that I have not filmed. Sorry, I have filmed. I haven't edited. Or I've filmed a few. I haven't edited the little reel things because I was so out of it for the last few days. So I'll probably do that tonight. And finish my grant application. Tiny white flowers. Of course. Just the smartest choice of like, hey, wouldn't this be a fun project? I already wondered why there were no advent calendar videos. There were no advent calendar videos because my life has been chaos. It's the same reason that there's no Patreon workshop videos or other things. My life is chaos and my brain can't keep up. And I've had like 3+ doctor's appointments every week for the past 3 weeks. I'm just jumping around from specialist to specialist to specialist, which the good news is that my doctor finally is paying attention to some stuff. I mean, there's lots of good news, but I had a short stretch of just like, oh, here's some new symptoms, and the doctor was ignoring it, and now the doctor's paying attention, but it just means that I'm like in and out of doctors and blood tests and other testing and specialists and etc. etc. But there will be videos. Life should get slightly less chaotic for a little while, hopefully. One would hope. Yep, I decided that, you know what, if the Advent videos start late and I just dump a whole bunch of them all at once, that is fine. They'll be okay. Without spoilers, have you been happy with what's in there so far? Yes. Largely they are all delightful surprises. A lot of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have chosen for myself. But I think it'll be fun to do. I'm gathering them up in a tin. And I think it'll be fun to do something with them at the end. Yeah, I was feeling better for a bit, and then this summer I just had a whole bunch of new symptoms, and then things got like really weird in September. And sort of settled, but then I had sort of given up on the doctor doing anything. Until mid-November, suddenly things started moving again. So No, no, wrong side. I'm gonna do another 15-20 minutes and then I'm gonna sign off, again, because it is Destiny's last day, so I just wanna make sure I am available at the very end of her day. I also want to check in on our payroll thing. So I use payroll software to do my payroll reporting for Destiny, but it's all kind of new to us. You know, I'm just a person. I'm not used to paying people and whatever and all the legal stuff. And so because she's going on maternity leave, and she does pay into taxes, like payroll taxes, she gets government funded maternity leave. But I had to, there's a process. So I had to submit, it's called an ROE, a record of employment, and it goes to Service Canada, as well as she gets a copy. And the payroll software is supposed to do that. So I clicked through the things this morning, but it seems to still, or the last I checked, it was still processing. So I wanted to make sure, hopefully it'll finish processing before the end of her day. No, that's not where I wanted that stem. We're gonna just pretend that didn't exist. There we go. Do you have big plans for the holidays? I mean, I guess, are you taking holidays? Or are you just working through? What's everyone doing the next few weeks? I've got a whole bunch of family stuff coming up. moving along. It's like a third of it. Alright, I think I am actually just gonna call it a day though, because because my assistant is about to go on leave, so should probably go make sure that everything's in order there, and I will see you all, see next week. I'm not sure. Oh wait, next Friday. Yes, okay, so I will see you all next week. I think I'm around next Friday. The week after, maybe not? The week after is, no, the week after is, like really getting into Christmas. I will probably have a video out. Yeah, anyway. Bye everyone.